Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Out of the Fast Lane podcast. I am your host, Brady Hauser. I don't know if you probably just saw it, the new intro video. It's very cool. I was working on that at school and at my house, and I just got that done. So I hope you all enjoyed that. That was just a bunch of clips put together from all my interviews, podcasts, and more in the past. But on tonight's show, he picked up a win just last week out in California. Landon Lewis is in the house in the West Arkham West series. So, Landon, welcome to the show.
Yes, Brady, thank you for having me.
So obviously coming off a win, I'm sure you got to be pretty pumped up.
Yeah, most definitely. I was really excited when I got that win. Not for just winning the race, but just the story behind it was pretty neat.
So what was the story behind that?
So I ended up getting hooked up with Bruce Cook about a month ago, and used to be Ron Hornaday's old crew chief, and they won some races together. So Ron's my mentor, so it was pretty neat to go work with his old crew chief and end up getting a win. So it was just a really neat deal.
So getting to work for Ron Hornaday, obviously truck champion and champion in NASCAR as it is, I'm sure that's got to be pretty cool.
Yes, it's it's very cool because you hear a lot of old stories and just a lot of techniques that are underneath the sleeve that he's willing to tell me. So it's a great bond.
So where exactly was this race? Where did this race take place? And how many cars were in it? And how many laps was it?
Yeah, so this race was at Kern County Raceway Park, which is in Bakersfield, California. There was 20 cars and it was a 150 lap race.
So Bakersfield, California, and Kern County. I've never heard of that place. Whereabouts is it?
It's I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but on the California map. But it's a definitely a very interesting place and a very cool place and a nice facility. So when I showed up there on Friday, it was like, wow, this place is pretty awesome. So I would definitely be making a trip back for sure.
So it's like a small town right in the middle of California type of racetrack.
Yes, sir.
There it is, right there. Um, so
Very.
obviously you get to race the 42 car for Ron Hornaday and Bruce Cook's team. Tell me a little bit about that race, kind of the story behind the race, how it went for you, and how you were able to pick up that win.
Yeah, we are really excited about going out there. Got there on Friday, unloaded, and we were really fast. So had really good long run speed. So I was really looking forward for the race because I knew we'd have a really good car and Bruce Cook and his amazing team would bring me a nice piece. So we unloaded, we are really fast, and I think we're P2 on Friday in practice. So slept on a couple things, went back on Saturday morning and unloaded right out of the gate really fast. Ended up qualifying third. So not the qualifying effort I was hoping for, but anytime you start up front, it's just a good day. So in the race, we finished third in stage one, and then on stage two, Bruce and the team made amazing adjustments and ended up pulling off the win. So it was just a amazing weekend.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna throw up the clip here quick for the people that didn't watch at home. I'm gonna mute the audio. It is okay. So this is the last two laps for you. Right there's you, of course, right there in the 42. Coming to the white flag right there. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was just
Because
trying
that
to
slow
get
car,
that
well, if you
far.
look at that, that slow car was really like you were almost close to making contact.
Yes, sir. My spotter was on the radio. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! And ended up getting by him. And then right here, I was just trying to hit my marks and not mess up. And then coming to the checkered, I was just started shedding a little tear coming across the line.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I would probably would have scared me if that. Oh man, you really got that girl with that water.
Yes, she gave me a little water
Woo!
bottle.
Right
She
there.
gave me a little bit of water, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use my whole water bottle. So I've always wanted to do that in my racing career and get out and spray water all over my crew guys. So it was just a really neat deal.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would have if that was me in that lap car there in that situation. I probably would have been like, "Oh God, I'm gonna hit this guy." I don't know what.
Yeah, that's the last
So
thing I need.
did you think that they were gonna throw a yellow for him?
Yeah, so I was in this similar situation on my first ARCA win at DuQuoin. I was coming into 3 and 4, had like a 13-second lead. So I was really comfortable coming to the line. got to 3 and 4, and a car was spun out in the middle of 3 and 4, and the caution come out on the white flag lap. And ARCA, the white flag does not end the race. So we had a 1 lap shootout and ended up pulling off the win. But I was definitely in that similar situation, and I was hoping they wouldn't throw it. And, I was just trying to get back to the line quick as possible.
Absolutely. So obviously, you're how old again?
16.
So you're 16. So I'm 16. So at 16 years old, you're racing Arco. That's got to be pretty awesome. But for the people that don't know, what got you started into racing?
Yeah, I was 4 years old, and I'm the fourth generation racer of my family, so it kind of runs in the blood. But I was 4 years old, and I always grew up watching my dad go around the racetrack, and I always kind of wanted to do it. Got started pulling. My dad pulled a go kart behind a four wheeler, and that's kind of just everything went up from there. Ended up racing go karts for about 10 years, I think, and then moved up to dirt modifieds, and that's where I met Ron Hornaday and his amazing family. And then about 3 years ago, I ended up started racing legend cars. So I've been racing those, still racing those, and just having a lot of fun. And then just stepped up to the ARCA cars. So it's definitely been a long road, but wouldn't trade it for the world.
Obviously, I come from a dirt racing background. So you mentioned dirt modifieds. What type of modified are we talking about?
A UMP dirt modified.
Okay. So you raced the Legends car. So I've seen that you've raced up in Central PA a little bit. Is it true you raced Big Diamond?
Yes, sir. I ended up getting my. I've only been there once and got a win, so I like that place, and I'm really looking forward to going back. And
I
I'll.
put you muted.
Oh, and yeah, so I've ran one race up there and ended up winning. So I'm really looking forward to going back up there. And I'm actually going to Pennsylvania this weekend to race a legend car on dirt at Linda's in Path Valley.
Nice. So cause I go to the big. I've been to Big Diamond once. Did you get to experience the dog pound at all when you were up
Yes,
there? So you know what the dog pound is.
yes.
Oh, that's a great place. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Diamond Dog who runs that. Oh man, good memories up there at that place. I've only been there once, but man, that track. This the arena itself. Like when you sit in the grandstand, you're looking down at the track, and that
It's
track is
amazing.
fast.
Yes, it's very fast and very big, but it's a nice facility and a nice racetrack. So,
How about for like a Legends car? Is it a little tougher on like the
um,
motor and stuff, being it's a little bit of a bigger track?
not really. I mean, we race on tracks bigger than that, so it's not that hard, but it's really a nice racetrack for a legend car. So, I'm definitely wanting to make the trip back up there.
So you mentioned you raced go-karts at younger years, and it was mentioned that you won 150 races in a go-kart.
Yes,
Tell me a little bit
sir.
about that.
It was definitely a neat deal to say that. But I ended up winning one national championship
Hmm.
and four junior max sided championships. So there's definitely a lot more championships that I'm probably forgetting right now. But I definitely had my years in go karts and wouldn't trade it for the world either.
So was that really like when you first got into a go-kart, you were probably pretty young, but when you started to like get a little bit older and realize that you were gonna get when you were racing a go-kart, did you know this was a sport for you?
I think I was about 11 years old when I really wanted to kind of take off with this and go to NASCAR and do what all the NASCAR Cup Series drivers do. So it took me a little bit, but I'm definitely wanting to do that now.
Is this your UMP mod right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was just wondering. But yeah, so you got to race dirt modifieds. What are some of the racetracks you got to race at with that?
I raced at Cherokee, which is in South Carolina,
Yep.
Carolina, with Raceway. There's just a lot of racetracks that I'm forgetting. Friendship. There's a lot of racetrack that I'm probably forgetting, but those are a fun. Those are blasts for sure.
Okay, let's see if let's see, I'm gonna test you a little bit here. What do they call Cherokee Speedway?
The place your mama warned you about.
You knew it. Good job. I've never
How
been
could you
there,
not
but
know that, right?
yeah. So good job. No, I've watched Cherokee on TV. It looks like a pretty cool track. It looks a little fat, a little slick, and a little fast in that little bull ring that they got there, but definitely cool, especially because John Snyder from Dukes of Hazzard gets to race there here and there. He comes and races up there, so that's another cool fact about that place. So that's pretty cool. So so where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I hope to see myself in NASCAR, racing either in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series, and obviously I want to be racing in the Cup Series. But I want to make it at least go to NASCAR and do that. If I could at least run one truck race, my dream is definitely set. That's where I kind of see myself in 5 years.
Hmm. So you're racing with Ron Horn today. What advice has he helped you? Because to like get to that dream, I know he picking up a win in the ARCA race is definitely gonna make a lot of people's eyes open about you. But what's his advice been trying to get you to that level?
Yeah, he's just helped me be a better person, better man, a better race car driver, of course. But he just always tells me to be humble and remember where you come from. Don't forget where you come from. So he's definitely a great mentor to me.
And there you are with him right there. That's awesome. Um, so Austin Terrio actually got this set up. I don't know if you've worked with him at all.
Yes, sir.
Obviously he does driver coaching. Uh, what's your whole thought about that? And can you tell me a little bit about the driver coaching?
Yeah, he's helped me, especially in the ARCA series when I've ran those races because he's an ARCA champion and he has a lot of experience underneath his belt in every car. So for him to have that little help for me when I go and kind of blindfolded, I guess, when I go to these racetracks that I've never to before, and he kind of takes that blindfold and pulls it off because he has a lot of experience at these different racetracks. So when I go there, I'm kind of looking. I know what I'm looking for because his driver coaching and just help.
Hmm. So obviously, last night I did a podcast with another driver, and she mentioned that her school has a class just based on racing. Is this kind of what this photo right here is kind of about?
So this photo is actually a mechanics class at South Columbus High School, and I went there and kind of talked about different things that I go through in life, and if they have dreams of working on cars, whether it's race cars or everyday cars. I just kind of went there and just kind of met everyone and got to see what their class was about. So it was a really neat deal.
Did you so in that class, so are they learning the basics of becoming like a pit crew or something like that?
So they're learning the basics of just working on a car in general. Every little bit of working on a car.
So here you are with Ty Gibbs. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it was a pretty neat deal because when I won my first ARCA race at the Coin, he finished second and Ken Schrader finished third. So for him to finish second and have that dominating year like he had last year, it was pretty neat. And then obviously got to take this picture with him, and I feel like I'll see him in the Cup Series one day. He's a really nice guy, and he's having a great year already.
Yeah, you know who would say that? You know who also would say he's having a great year?
Who?
Don't say it. I know you're gonna laugh. Sam Mayer.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, that's awesome that you got to race with Ty Gibbs and Ken Schrader. I mean, look,
Yes.
think about Ken Schrader. Ken Schrader's been around for decades, and that guy he's won it all and he's been through it all. So to race with him and then even beat him, that's got to say a lot.
Yes, sir.
Um, if you could race against any driver, past or present, who would it be and why?
Past, it'd probably be with Ron Hornaday, because he's a hard nosed racer, and I've watched a lot of videos of him, and he's a very good racer. And if I could beat him, then you beat the best. He's probably one of the best racers I've ever seen.
Yeah, for me it would be Stuart Friesen. I don't you probably know who that is.
Yep.
He lives 20 minutes from my
Oh
house.
wow.
I watch him race at a local track every night, every Saturday night, and he kicks butt there. And man, if I could sling some dirt with him one day, that would be definitely the driver I'd like to race with, past or present for sure. So here you are at your shop, actually, right there, uh, doing some media. Is it pressuring for you, like because I was told to ask this question. Is it pressuring you? Is it pressure to you when you get to like do stuff like this with the media and like are you learning the media? How's that been as a driver?
Honestly, it's a very cool deal. Learning what goes into the sport and learning the media side. Actually not nervous to me. It's actually very cool because there's something else that I can learn and put in my book to be better on social media and the different sites on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So learning the media is cool to me, and it's just a new thing.
Hmm. So, how many Gators did you win at this race?
So I won three championship, or yeah, so I won three championships, and then I ended up winning the big race. It was a $1,500 to win race that night, and then I think we won 8 or 9 races. I'm not sure, and just a bunch of top fives, bunch of top threes. So it was just a good week and 2 weeks in Florida. So it was kind of our speed weeks of legend cars, and I think it was a successful week.
Winter Nationals was that at New Smyrna?
No, so Winter Nationals is the same time New Smyrna is, but it was at Citrus County,
Citrus County.
Florida, and then we ran the road course at the Firm, and then we ran dirt on at Marion County. So these are my sponsors with 19th Green, and they're amazing people, and they were able to come to these races. So that's what you're seeing in this picture.
So Marion County. I've heard of that track. Isn't that track very tiny?
Yes, very small.
So
It's
I
like
thought.
it's called the Boring. That's like the nickname of it, and it fits it perfect because it's a tight racetrack.
So for Legends cars, does that make it even more tough?
Yeah, because these legend cars are naturally tight. So you have to keep them turning and stuff like that. So it definitely makes it tougher, but it actually makes you a better driver. If you can race them there, you can go anywhere.
So I know this gentleman right here in the back. I actually interviewed him Monday,
Oh, Blaine,
and
he's awesome.
and I was told to ask this question.
Oh, here
Now
we go.
I hope he's definitely gonna be watching because he told me he was gonna. He wants to know what are some of the secret tips in racing that you've gotten to learn.
I don't know if I should tell him this because he'll take them. No, I'm just kidding. Just there's different things about just restarts, racecraft. There's just a lot of different things that go into racing, and I'm just pleasure to learn those different techniques.
So have you and Blaine gotten to race before?
We, yes, we have got to race each other. Um, I think once.
So obviously he got a pretty good start. He went right into the Xfinity series
Yep.
for our motorsports. What advice does he kind of like let off to you as because I know you guys are good buddies. What has he kind of given you as advice from him?
So funny you say that. He actually helped me a ton for the ARC race I just won in Kern County. He's raced there, I think, twice, and he's done really good there. And he's run a lot of the West racetracks and finished second in the West Championship. So for me to be able to text him and say, dude, do you have anything for this racetrack? I would love to have something so I don't go there with a blindfold over my face. And he gave me some of his notes, and I was able to learn a lot going into that race.
So I put him under pressure the other night on Monday. I put the driver I had on last night under pressure with this question. Sadly enough, I'm not going to pick on the guy, and I don't want to be like that. But Blaine Perkins did not know how many heads were on Mount Rushmore. Now I'm going to follow up with that question. In racing, if there is an asphalt Mount Rushmore and a dirt Mount Rushmore, who are the four drivers on both categories?
Ooh, well, I know there are four. I knew that. I knew how many there were. Um, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'd probably say, so Ron Hornaday, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson. Oh, one more. Who could that last one be? Probably say Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart.
Those are three good ones.
Smoke. So
Yeah.
for dirt side, how about that?
Dirt side. I would say Jonathan Davenport,
Ooh.
Brandon Overton, Brandon Shepherd, definitely.
You're a late model guy, I can tell.
And one more. I probably know every late model person. I like watching late model racing. So Brandon Shepherd, Jonathan Davenport, Brandon Overton, and wow, there's a lot of good ones. I would probably say Scott Bloomquist.
Okay, that's on mine. So I'll tell you
What would yours
mine.
be?
So for asphalt, I got Jimmy Johnson, you got Richard Petty,
Oh,
Dale Senior, Kyle Larson.
I didn't.
For asphalt side, it's Jumpin' Jack Johnson, Scott Bloomquist, Jason Johnson, Brian Clausen.
Yes,
Brian Clausen growing up was one of my favorite drivers growing up.
I like the.
Sadly he's no longer with us, but um, definitely if I ever got to see him race, I would have honestly he's because obviously he was one of the best that ever wheeled dirt cars, so that's impressive. And he wheeled IndyCar and NASCAR, so that was pretty cool as well. So he kind of had his fair share in all sorts of racing. But yeah, that's a pretty good one. So yeah, when I asked Blaine that, he didn't know how many. He asked me, he goes, "I'm gonna make myself sound stupid. How many heads are there?" I'm like, "Oh God, no, Blaine, come on, dude." And he goes, I should have known this, but I guess I didn't. I'm like, yeah,
I ask him next time I see him, see what he remembers.
he please do because I think he'll probably get a kick out of that. But so obviously Austin Terrio set this up, and he wanted to also ask you this: who is your biggest role model in racing?
Oh man, these are tough ones. There's a lot of them. I'd probably say Ron Hornaday. I keep saying him, but he's definitely my role model. Role model because of where he come from. Just kind of growing up, racing, just trying to make it, and then getting that phone call from Dale Earnhardt and coming to the East Coast and racing and doing a very good job at it. So I like his story, and that's probably who I look up to.
That's awesome. Well, I'm not gonna keep you here all night because I know you probably got some stuff you got to take care of. Being you just won, got to be you. Probably he's trying to get a hold of you. But I appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything you want to know about the podcast or myself?
I just want to say thank you for having me. And, I like to thank my sponsors, of course.
Yeah,
God, most importantly, for keeping me safe and put me in this position. 19th Green, they do a lot for me, and I'm grateful to have them. Dave Reeves with Dave Reeves Automotive, they're huge to me. MMI, TSC, Rent Source for all I do, especially my mom and dad, my family, for allowing me to do this, and Team Hornaday Development for making me a great person and a better man. So thank you for having me, and definitely looking forward to come back on your show.
yeah, I appreciate you coming on and congratulations on the win. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of advice because I know you talked about how you want to one day make it into the Cup Series. I interviewed Alan Bestwick a year ago, and his words of wisdom and advice were dare yourself, or was dare to dream. So what that means is basically dare yourself to dream big. So you want that dream, dare yourself to do it, and maybe just one day that dream will come true. So that's going to be my advice to leave to you. And I wish you the best of luck as you move on in your career, and we definitely look forward to having you back on the show. I'll leave you here. I'll talk to you after. But with that said, quick shout out Austin Terrio, Hornaday Development, uh, Austin Terrier's coaching development team. They were awesome people as well. Um, Candace Hornaday, she kind of helped everything get all this together. So a big shout out to her. And I honestly was talking to her. I'm thinking, I don't know if this is good. I can't confirm this just yet for everybody watching at home. But there is a good possibility that next week that Ron Hornaday might be coming on the show to talk with me.
That's a good.
Uh, so stay tuned for that, just in case it does come out. I'm not going to say it's going to happen yet. We haven't really confirmed that. We talked a little bit about it. Ron's obviously a very busy guy, so we got to fit into a time that he can do it. So we'll figure that out as it comes on, and stay tuned for that. But this weekend, of course, I'll be at Albany Saratoga Speedway for their weekly racing on Friday night. And then Sunday, Garden Ridge Motorsports Park opens up. I'll be announcing alongside Toby LaGrange. So if you're looking for something to do on a Sunday night, swing on up and check that out. And of course, we got to thank our great sponsors, Swagger Factory Apparel. They make these awesome shirts. Drivers, they make fire suits, they make gloves, they make boots, they make everything that you need for safety equipment. So, and pit crew shirts. So go check those out and tell Mikey Jackson that I sent you there. I'm sure he can probably cut you guys a deal. And then, of course, Tad Parks at Parks Companies. He's been a great help with the podcast. Without him, I don't know if we could survive weekly, but it's awesome that how much support he has had with our podcast. So I appreciate him, and make sure you hit that like button, that comment button, and make sure you subscribe. And we just reached 300 and I think 75 last night for subscriber counts. So that's awesome. We're on the road to 400. We'll try to get there within the next couple days, and then make sure you click that notification bell when you hit and when you hit subscribe. It should be right next to it. It should be the little bell icon. You click on that, it'll light up blue, and you won't miss an upload at any time. But I appreciate you all watching. This is Landon Lewis coming off his big win in the ARCA West Series at Kern County Speedway. So Landon, I appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll see everybody in the next one.
Thank you.